Let's talk about the makeup products that secretly do the exact same thing. If your drawers are overflowing and you still feel like you are missing something, you might actually just be buying duplicates. So here's what we're gonna do. On the right side of my face, I'm using all of the extra products that you really do not need. And on the left side, I am skipping them completely. And at the end, I want you to tell me in the comments if you notice any differences. We are filming up close in 4K, so there is no hiding. So you can really be honest here, okay? You can really tell me if you notice a difference or not. Let's get into it. Let's start with primer because this is where most people waste a lot of money without even realizing it. If your primer is hydrating, your moisturizer already did that job. You do not need both. Most hydrating primers are simply moisturizers with just a little bit of silicone added to make the skin feel extra smooth. So if your skincare routine is already giving you hydration and slip, that primer is not bringing anything new to the table at all. The only time you truly need a primer is when it has a very specific purpose. So for example, a pore filling primer for texture, a grippy primer for extending your wear time, or a mattifying primer if you get really shiny, super oily through the T-zone. Those may be helpful for certain skin types, certain situations, but in everyday situations, you will not see a major difference. I'm telling you right now. And for mature skin, too many layers can actually make your makeup look worse. That's when you get pilling or you get that heavy makeup kind of sitting on top of the skin look. So before you add any extra steps, just ask yourself, is my skincare already doing this? If the answer is yes, let your moisturizer and skincare do the work and just skip the primer. Now let's move under the eyes because this is an unexpected way to save money. And I actually figured this out because I forgot this product when I was traveling, and it's a product that I use every single day. If you already own a warm peachy cream blush, you basically already have a under eye color corrector. Shocking, I know. Peach naturally cancels out blue or purple tones in light to medium skin colors, and cream blush blends more sheerly than a traditional corrector. So you get the same exact brightening effect without adding thick layers that can crease on more mature, more textured eyes. On this side, I am using a proper under eye corrector. No shade to this corrector. It's very, very good. It works really well. But on this side, I am using a small dab of a peachy cream blush mixed with some concealer to dilute the orange. And you'll see that once everything is blended out and the concealer is placed on top of it, the difference is almost impossible to see. The blush really does the same job. It melts into the skin, it mutes out the blue and purple tones, and it's one less product to buy, one less thing to pack. Now let's talk about bronzer and contour because a lot of people assume that they need both, and most of the time, you really do not. Let's just get one thing straight though. I do need to say this as a makeup artist. Contour and bronzer are not the same thing. Contour is usually cooler to mimic a natural shadow, and bronzer is warmer and gives that soft, very sun-kissed glow, sun-kissed look. But here is what actually matters, okay? A cream bronzer can still give you a subtle, flattering definition that feels like a contour, but it does so without hollowing out the face because it doesn't look like a shadow. So on mature skin that has lost volume, or on thinner faces in general like mine, that softer look is often more natural, and it can even be more youthful looking. On this side, I'm using a contour stick to shape the cheekbone, shorten the forehead, and carve out the jawline. And on the other side, I am using a cream bronzer. Once everything is blended out, the overall effect is surprisingly similar. Almost hard to tell which is which. You still get lift and definition, but the bronzer just looks a little bit softer, a little less harsh. With that said though, you can absolutely still use both if you love a carved out look and you still want to look bronzy, right? But for everyday makeup, especially over 40, a cream bronzer usually gives you all the sculpting that you need while keeping your face looking very youthful and healthy. Next, let's move into eyes. A cream is a cream, no matter how it is packaged. A cream shadow in a pot, a cream shadow in a stick, or a cream shadow in a little squeezy tube, they're all the same type of formula. The packaging changes, but the result really does not. If you already have one creamy, one and done shadow, you probably do not need the same shade in every single format. They all give you that soft wash of color, they blend beautifully with your fingers, and they add quick, effortless definition to the eyes One and done. That's all I did today. That's all I have on today. One and done shadow and some mascara, that's it. On this side, I'm using a cream shadow from a pot. On the other side, I'm using a shadow stick in almost the same shade. Once they are blended out, you cannot tell which is which. They perform the same, they look the same. So just choose the format that you enjoy using the most. Now let's talk about brows, because this is another spot where people often buy the same thing twice. Clear brow gel and clear mascara are almost identical in how they behave. Both hold the hairs in place, both give you that groomed look, and both dry down with a flexible hold. The only real difference is that brow gels sometimes come in tinted versions for bulk, but when we're talking about clear formulas, they are the same. They are the same. And clear mascaras from the drugstores are much less expensive than clear brow gels from Sephora. I am just saying, they're the same. On this side, I'm using clear brow gel, and on the other side, I am using clear mascara. Once they set, you genuinely cannot tell which is which, especially if you prefer a more natural brow style. If you love that super laminated, brushed up brow look, then yes, stick with the brow gel because some formulas can have a much stronger hold. But for everyday shaping, a drugstore clear mascara that's inexpensive is the same. And again, it's much cheaper. You're welcome. Let's move on to lips. Lip oils and sheer glossy balms often give you the exact same effect. Lip oils sound luxurious because of the word oil, but most of the time they behave just like a gloss. They give shine, they give a little tint, they give that juicy finish, but so do glossy balms. Unless a lip oil has active treatment ingredients in the formula, the difference in the look and also in the feel on the lips is usually minimal. On this side, I'm using a lip oil, and on this side, I'm using a sheer glossy balm. Once they are applied, you can see that they really do look identical. So if you already have a balm that you love, you absolutely do not need a matching lip oil for the same shade or for a different result. You will not get a different result. It's gonna look the same. Now let's finish with setting spray, because this is another product category where people end up purchasing multiples that do the exact same thing. Most glowy setting sprays are essentially hydrating facial mists with ingredients like glycerin. They make the skin look fresh and dewy, but they do not lock your makeup in place unless they contain alcohol polymers or long-wearing ingredients. A hydrating skincare mist gives you the same softened, melted-in look. So if your goal is glow and hydration and you already have a skincare mist, you do not need to go out and buy a glowy setting spray. It's essentially the same thing, just in different packaging. On this side, I'm using a glowy setting spray, and on the other side, I'm using a hydrating mist. And once everything dries down, you can really see that the finish is the same. If you are using a setting spray for longevity or for a special occasion, for example, super long day, you need to reach for true long-wearing setting sprays, not glowy setting sprays. They are formulated very differently. And with that said, up next on the channel, learn what the differences are between fixing sprays and setting sprays and whether or not you need both. Or if you want to keep exploring, check out what YouTube recommends for you right here. I'll see you over there.